Hi, folks. This is Rick Doc Walker, the DOC.
This is John Kime, and you're listening to the Mess Hall with Rally Captain and Tailgate Ted.
Happy Miracle Monday, Rally. How you doing, man?
Brother, you see, I still got the same shirt on from yesterday. No, I'm playing. I did change my clothes, but for this pod, I had to put the black jersey back on because I was so sick and tired of everybody saying, "No, we don't win in the black, and we don't win it, whatever." The curse is lifted. We're winning, and I am just super psyched that here we are once again. And I told you, my pockets are getting barren from the victory stakes, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, I've been wearing the same outfit to the game since we've been winning at home, right? So I'm rocking a Breaking T shirt. It's my HTTC shirt. I got my Tailgate Ted jersey, and then I got these shorts I've been wearing and my Commander's shoes. I'm going to tell you, it's getting cold wearing these shorts out there, man, because, we get in the 4:00 games. It's October now. So I had some like an Under Armour thermal on underneath. So I still had the shirt on and the jersey thinking, okay, that's not going to jinx anything. So I'm still rocking everything like I would be, but I just got, a little thermal on. I didn't wear any tights. To me, men don't wear tights underneath their shorts, right? Unless you're like going running or like if you were in the Marine Corps Marathon this Sunday and you were doing that, you missed a heck of a football game because I doubt you went to the game after running 26.2 miles. But B, you're probably wearing tights because it's cold outside. I'm going to have to wear some tights for the Steelers game because I'm not changing my outfit, man. And I was freezing my ass off towards the end of that game, let me tell you.
So, early prediction, do you think that game will be flexed?
I don't think they're going to. Because it's the Steelers, it's not like it's a big deal. I mean, it is maybe for us here, but I mean, you can only flex so many games, right? Would you rather flex the Steelers or are you going to flex the Eagles or the Cowboys? Or potentially
Well,
both?
we already played the Eagles at 8:00 game anyway, so I hear what you're saying. But getting back to your whole tight thing, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem putting tights on, whatever you want to, leggings, tights, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Call me less than manly. I
You
don't
got pants
care.
on over them though, or you got shorts on?
Of course I do. Sometimes I wear shorts and just leggings or tights or whatever you want to call it. I don't mind because there's also a cool factor. Look, you look cool when you got if your outfit matches them properly. You look cool, but like you said, it's starting to get a little chilly outside, and because of that, hey man, style kind of goes out the window a little bit. You got to dress for the warmth, and I can't wait to see where this goes. And one of the things that I'm also scratching my head on is how many cold games has Jayden played? Do you know how many cold games he's played? I don't know, but
Nah, I got no idea. I mean,
yeah,
LSU he's down south. So obviously they got to
right.
travel, I'm sure they played some big games, like maybe in Ohio or something during his college career. But I mean, they'll keep him warm. They got those big old parkas on the sideline with those big old
Yeah.
heating turbines, everything else. So he should be okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure, that we're not like how the Miami team is. We do so well, and then all of a sudden we got to go play hypothetically the Bills, and then we nut up, and I just don't want that to happen with us because it would just be crazy, man. I mean, for this type of season to go that route, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to continue to bask in this win that we have, and man, Ted. I was speechless then, but for the sake of this pod, I will not be speechless. And I'm just going to say that it was one of the best feelings that I've ever had in my life, man.
It was unreal, man. And before we jump into that, I kind of want to talk about leading into the game, the tailgate, you
Sure,
running
sure.
around. But I don't even want to jump into the end because you got a video out there that's been seen. You're going viral, just going back and forth with your reaction from
Yeah,
everything that happened, and
it's crazy.
it was. And just to start the day off, shoot, I thought I was going to have to cancel the tailgate, right? Because the van broke down on Saturday. So
Again?
Saturday morning, after I drove to go see my sister and my brother, and my brother was up with my niece from Virginia Beach, and I said he had season tickets in front of me, but he wasn't going to the game on Sunday because they flexed the game. So because they flexed it, he
Mm,
couldn't go to the game. So I wanted to see family beforehand. So Saturday morning, I end up going out to go see them. I'm driving on the highway, getting out to Falls Church. I realized I didn't roll the car window up, the van window up. So I turned the car back on. Car wouldn't turn on. It's like, I made it all the way out there. It wouldn't turn back on. Like, you gotta be kidding me. It's like, all right, forget this. I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna catch up with family, shake hands, literally kiss babies, do what I gotta do, and then just go do my shopping. Fast forward 3 hours, and a bunch of troubleshooting and a bunch of people that are not mechanics could not get the car started to save my life, man. Thinking,
mm.
I'm texting the HailBBQ crew. I'm like, guys, we might have to cancel the tailgate on Sunday. We got 400 people coming out. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. My
Mm.
brother-in-law offers to give me his Honda Pilot to do my shopping in at least, and then maybe we can fix the van later. And then I text my boy, who's a Commanders fan slash mechanic for the van. I mean, Jayden's talking about, blessings after his post game. Blessings, man, because he works one Saturday a month. And this is the one Saturday he's there 2 miles away from me.
Oh, nice.
If I would have actually done my regular routine shopping, I would have got stranded in Alexandria, nowhere near where he is, and wouldn't have been able to actually get the van to his shop. He rewired the entire thing, took care of what everything needed to be done, still got all my shopping done. Granted, it was a 10-hour prep day, and I was
Mm.
dog tired at the end of it, but crisis averted. We were able to get the tailgate off and running. The most people we've had all season, and I'm sounding like a broken record every week now, but so many people are coming out now, man. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I haven't talked to the crew yet about this, but I'm making a rule now. If you're local and you miss the RSVP, I'm sorry. Only way I'm letting people in past the deadline is if you're coming from overseas. If you're coming from London, you're coming from, some place that ain't around here. And I'm not talking you're a Bears fan coming to watch a team. I'm talking about you are literally having to show your passport to get on your plane. You guys can come party with us. We will give you a place to come hang out. Because
Wow.
other than that, man, I had so many people just yelling and crying about it. But we had some cool ass people from the UK and London and Germany and just all these spots to come party, man. They'd never been to a tailgate before in the States, and they had so much fun. And they handed me a Boston beer like it was the best thing in the world. I'm thinking this is piss, but it was the thought that counts, man.
Well, it's weird that you say that because I met a couple and their son, and they were from Germany as well. I'm not sure, maybe they were the same group, but they flew in. They'd never been to a game before, and they came in from Germany. And this when they booked the flights, the NFL schedule wasn't released as of yet. And so as they got closer, this matched up. It just so happened that the Bears game matched up to their travel plans, and they came here to see the monuments and everything, and said, you know what, we're going to take in this game. And so they actually flew out of Newark, caught the train down here,
Damn.
and because they were already going to be seeing the monuments and everything, bought the tickets. And so this was their first experience, and they had a ball. I mean, it's just good stuff, man. It really is all together. And let me tell you, the lots now are getting more crowded earlier. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when we have a 1 o'clock game per se,
Yeah,
but when
that's
we have,
part of what I'm thinking. But yeah.
yeah, but when we have these 4 o'clock kicks, man, the lots are just jam packed, and it's a love hate relationship. I, I love it, but I hate it, But
Because what time
because
do you get to red zone?
I got to the red zone about 11:45, I think.
So
Yeah,
45 minutes past it opening, and it was already
yeah.
busy by the time you got there?
Oh man, yeah. And the next time I'm going to do a video, I've been slacking on my video, but I'm gonna do a video just to show you how the red zone is just crowded, and as I serpentine through the lots, it just is phenomenal. And you know, and it's so weird because I get stopped by people who I I don't know who they are, but obviously they've seen or heard of me or whatever have you, and to be brought into their tailgate, into their family experience, and want to take pictures with their babies and kids and stuff like that, and I love it, man. I mean, being a fan, this is what it's all about.
If Mrs. Rally can't make it to a game one time, and you don't want to bring, anybody else, to be able to raffle off a ticket with you for maybe the proceeds go to the Red Cross or something,
Yeah,
and to be Rally for a day, right? To walk around the lots with you and just to kind of get that experience, I think you could raise a ton of money for a great cause, being able to do that, man. Just because you see everything just from all the fans out there walking how many miles. I can't remember how many it was anymore. It just made me tired thinking about it. And then, going on the game, going on the field pregame, and then just your seats and everything else, just to be able to do that and live that. I mean, if there was a film crew or something that could actually film that, just that point of view, because we saw a lot of point of view videos after, that last Hail Mary
yeah,
touchdown, but just that point of view of being rally for a day and just so fans can actually experience a true NFL environment. Because people always ask me, like, oh, this, it's like, guys, I don't know. Like, I'm in my spot. I can't go anywhere. Like, I get there and I get people. So we didn't have a DJ this week, right? Because
hmm,
my DJ has got a bunch of kids. He had stuff going on, couldn't make it out. So my cell phone was a DJ. I had people calling me again, asking me, "Hey, are you going first? Are you going to the game?" So I immediately want to block them at that point because if you're asking me, "Am I going to the game?" We're not friends, and we probably aren't even acquaintances because you don't know me at all. And second, just people texting me, but every time they did that, it was cutting the music off.
hmm,
It was like someone like in a house party when Bilal would bump into the DJ booth, right? And next
yeah,
thing you know, it was like that. So I just put my phone on finally on do not disturb because it was driving me crazy. But people are just like, "Hey, where do I go to tailgate this?" And we couldn't get with you. I'm like, but you obviously have the roadmap that you go through each week and all the spots that you stop by. And I'm sure there's others where people invite you that are new that week to go check out. I think that'd just be kind of fun to watch. Because I know when we were in
yeah.
Detroit, you had your POV camera on your shoulder.
And I'm looking at doing that again. I just need to figure out a way that I can get more battery life out of it, and maybe even have like a remote or something to where I can turn it on and turn it off because it gets kind of crazy trying to, is it on,
Click it.
on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Is it, you know what I mean? So if I can figure those things out for the Steelers game, oh heck yeah, I'll bring it out because it's an experience, man. It really is just to walk around and just see the smiles,
Yeah. There's a lot of
you
them.
know. No
A
man,
lot of them.
yeah.
Because I mean, I've mentioned in the past the Emerald Lagasse show I did that they filmed 2 years ago. It was depressing to watch because nobody came to the game. The lots were empty. You would have thought it was preseason when they were getting footage and looking around the lots and panning around. I mean, if they
Hmm,
could cut out some of the old B-roll and put in B-roll from this year, I mean, now there is no
yeah,
empty spaces. I mean, it's crazy. And we had people rolling up at what was it, 3:45 trying to park when people have been partying for 4 hours. I'm like, what are you
yeah.
thinking? This is
It ain't
just
gonna happen.
no.
It
And at
gonna
least
happen.
in the very front of the parking lot, like you guys are smoking crack. No, I
Yeah.
mean that's but man, I'm
Yeah.
envious. That's why I like to at least be you for an away game. That way I get a chance to actually watch and experience and see all the smiles out there.
Well, speaking of away games, I got to tell you, so the New York bus trip, we're sold out. Um,
Awesome.
the next trip that we have is for the Eagles bus trip, and I know it's a short time frame, but I did not. People ask me, well, why did you wait so long to put the Eagles trip out? And I'll explain it to you this way: the Eagles wanted a lot of money for their lower bowl tickets. And if you've been on one of my trips, you know that I believe in putting our fans in the lower bowl. I'm a firm believer that if you're going to get into any type of trouble, it's going to be in the upper levels and not the
Oh
lower
yeah.
bowl. Not to say that it can't happen in the lower bowl, but you're less likely for it to happen in the lower bowl. And those tickets were through the roof, and I just wasn't going to try to charge through the a huge amount of money for a bus trip up to Philadelphia. People would say, "Rally Captain, like you said, you're smoking crack." And so the ticket prices have finally come down a little bit, and so I was able to work out some deals. So I've got two options, obviously. If you want to go ahead and get your own game ticket, you can. If by chance you want me to get your game ticket and just not have to worry about anything, I can take care of that as well. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. I think it'll be a great trip. I know it's going to be a great trip because as it stands right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are saying that we are frauds in the NFC East and that they are the ones who should be on top. And I said, well, you can say that, but we are leading you. Now, they did have a bye, and we have not had a bye, but it's going to come down to what's going to happen prime time in Philadelphia. And the last prime time game that we were in Philadelphia, we spanked that butt. So I think that it can happen again. All that's missing is you guys. So if you want to come, hit me up at 571-322-6584 or sbevents.net, and let's get this thing going.
Yeah, I don't know if I can convince Mrs. Tailgate to have me go up there with you. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I mean, they're 5-2, we're 6-2. Obviously, it's going to be a
Yeah.
massive game for the division at that point. And it's Saquon scares me. He's always scared me. I mean, we've been able to bottle him up when he played for the Giants, but
Yeah.
this looks like a different Saquon. He's angry. He's angrier than before, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. There's something about this team that you can't ever count them out. So I'm sitting there at the tailgate, and all of a sudden, while I'm cooking and everything else is going on, I can hear a bunch of people start to like, "Oh my, did you hear? Did you hear?" And it came out that Jayden was going to play, right?
hmm
When did you find out that he was going to start?
Walking through the lots, um, I saw a reporter and he told me. I'm not going to mention his name, but I saw a reporter and he told me. And so I just said, okay. And I'll leave it at that. And I kept it to myself until I actually heard the official word that he was. So it was a like you. I heard horn when the word came out. I heard horns going off, and I was saying to myself, "Oh, they're probably about to say," and they said, "Jayden's playing." And I was like, "All right, that's good to hear, man." So obviously, some people knew, and other people didn't, and so I was happy to be a part of the masses to play it off like I didn't know, but I had heard that he was going to play.
So I had logged in that morning to see if there were any more props on FanDuel and just trying to make sure I could get my last minute bets in. Because when I'm out there, the second I drive in to Northwest, my phone, I don't touch it anymore. It just plays music and that's it. So that's why I stopped playing fantasy football because I can't check if anyone's a game time decision and then I would just get
hmm
screwed and blah, blah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So I checked, the spread had changed to the point of we were now the favorites. Like, okay, am I reading this wrong? I still got, a little dirt in my eye. Like, what's going on here? And this was before they had actually announced that Jayden was starting. It's like, okay, this is kind of weird. I didn't really think anything of it. It's like maybe just something's going on. And then all of a sudden they said he was playing. And then my man Bob Biaggi, who does stuff with Oarsman,
hmm
and JP Finley mentions him a bunch. He's a good dude. He came to hang out at the tailgate. He had field passes. And I said, all right, you're going down that field. I need you to send me a text and a picture of Jayden throwing the ball, just so I know it's straight. Because you get all these hack Twitter accounts out there, and
Oh
everyone wanted to be
yeah.
the next Adam Schefter and this and that. They paid for a check mark. And yes, I paid for a check mark, but it's because I keep misspelling, S on my Twitter, and I got tired of deleting it and all that other stuff. So, I'm paying for it.
So
Is
when you
what it
pay
is.
for a check mark, do you also get more characters, or it's the same for
Yes.
everybody?
No, you
Uh,
get way more characters, and I can
okay.
upload basically it's not an unlimited video, but all my Fox 5 hits that end up being like 5, 8, 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Before it'd have to be 90 seconds.
Right.
It puts the whole video up.
No,
So
nice,
that's the other nice
nice.
part of it. So, you get eventually you start getting money if people are looking at your videos and this and that, and it kind of helps out. And it basically pays for the membership itself. So it works
Mm,
out that way. But,
all
you
right.
know, you can't believe every check mark that's sitting out there on Twitter. So it's
No.
like, all right, Bob sent me the text message and the picture. It's like, we good now. Jayden's out there. He's playing because you know how you try and convince yourself that it's going to be okay. It'll be fine if he doesn't play, right? Because I'm thinking, all right, 3 of our next 4 games are NFC East games. So Jayden can rest. We don't need him. We got Mariota, right? And meanwhile, beginning of the season, I, talked so much trash about Marcus, didn't want him to see the field at all. And now I'm trying to tell myself, oh, we'll still win with Mariota. We're okay. So I'm just lying to myself at this point, but I could stop lying at that because I knew Jayden was actually going to be out there.
Well, so you originally said that you wanted Mariota to see the field as the amount of times it was on his jersey. Well, his jersey number has changed.
Yeah, I take that back now. He better not see it 18 times.
His jersey number has changed, but man, when I got on the field and I saw him warming up, I said, okay, he looked good. Now there are a couple of times during the game to where I was like, he got clobbered.
Yeah.
Is he okay? And so I really kind of just had to do the side eye, like, man, I don't know if he's okay or not. And one time I actually thought I saw Mariota warming up, and I said, oh, here we go. It looked like he was warming up. Maybe he was just, I don't know, just throwing the ball
No, because
around.
there was one time where Mariota was like stretching his quads, right? And like
Hmm.
jumping up and down. It's like, that's kind of a weird motion for him to be doing and
Okay.
grabbing his leg.
Uh-huh.
Basically, like that's kind of odd if you're just going out there. Granted, it was cold because I had shorts on and I was shivering my ass off. So maybe he was just trying to stay loose just in case. But
Hmm.
I'm listening to the radio feed and they didn't say anything about it. But they did say that at one point, Kingsbury went over to Jayden after he did take a hit to kind of check on him to see if he was okay. And Jayden got up one play and was kind of holding his arm down. And if you're watching, you can kind of see what I'm doing on the YouTube feed. But it looked funny because he definitely, I mean, he only got sacked twice, but he still took a couple of hits. And
Yeah.
during the post-game show, Jayden went out to talk to B, Mitch, and Tana. And B said, those Bears were hitting you late. And I'm paraphrasing here. He's like, I want to run out in that field and just take care of them for you because they were coming after him. And I felt like there was that podcast that talked about hurting Jayden during the game and
Hmm.
just trying to knock him
Hmm.
out. That kind of went viral here because you never want to hurt, like just go out. This isn't hockey where you send like an enforcer just to go knock
Enforcer.
someone
Yep.
out and
Hmm.
just beat them up,
Hmm.
right? Like a Donald Brashear type guy. And they're saying, oh, guys do that to Jayden, just knock him out the game and we don't got to worry about it. Well, y'all took your best shot and it didn't work. I mean, rookie of the year right now, just looking at the game, Caleb was 10 for 24, 131 yards. And I was looking at the numbers. Caleb was 3 completions for 33 yards at halftime, right? He ended with a buck 31, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Jayden, 21 to 38, 326, and a touchdown with 2 sacks. I mean, they were saying the battle of the 1 versus the 2. Well, our 2 beat your 1, and so many Bears fans walking out of those stands like, we got the wrong guy.
They did say that. They were saying that to me. If at first they were saying, we got the number 1 pick, and I said, you can keep him. We're good. I said, we're good with what we got. So I'm not even going to stress over it. Let's just play football. And then as the game progressed, I was saying, look, who's he throwing the ball to? Because there are a lot of passes that just
Yeah.
were just over the top. It honestly
He got
reminded me.
flustered, man.
Yeah, it reminded me of Jayden when he played the first preseason game, or even when he played Tampa when he kind of
Tampa.
made some mistakes. And now you just see to where, like you said, he never looked comfortable, except maybe later on. Even still, he didn't look that comfortable. Whereas Jayden just looked like, hey, I'm supposed to be here. I know what I'm looking for. Zip, zip, zip. And they did make us earn our money though. I will say that they made
I
us earn
mean,
our money.
from a PFF grade, right? Caleb was a 57.7 and let's see here, 14th on the offense. and Jayden got the best grade for our offense at 80.8, right? I mean, there was one play that I just tweeted a little bit ago where pressure's coming up from behind him and Jayden just jumps. I don't even know how he saw the guy just come after his ass, and Jadis just jumps right there and then hopped and then threw the ball. I mean, it was beautiful. And then a couple of those times where he made those Bears defenders like their jock was just on the ground, man. I mean, he
Oh
just
yeah,
just broke their ankles, just completely disrespected them. And
loved
then
it.
one DB, Jayden just stiff armed him and just shoved his face right to the ground just to get
Hmm.
that first down, man. And you're sitting there and the defender's sizing him up, like, please don't hit him. Please don't hit him. And he does this little shimmy step and then goes right past the guy and goes out of bounds, man. It was just
Skirt, skirt. Yep.
if you were to watch that, there is no way you would have thought the kid had a bad rib or was hurt.
Oh
If no one
yeah.
told you. I mean, it's just
No, I agree. Totally agree. And I gotta go back and look at the game. I haven't had time. I've been like you. I've been prepping. I had to give blood today, and it's so weird. I'm giving blood, listening to B. Mitch and JP talk about the blood draw that they were having,
the
and
UMD.
yeah, UMD, and I'm like, damn, here I am giving blood. Maybe I could have worked that out, but no, I take that back. I wasn't going to go all the way to Maryland when I had everything to do on the Virginia side of the house, so I was happy just taking care of what I needed to take care of. But it would be nice to actually be the head one of those blood draws. I like to work with somebody, I'm sure, in the future, because giving blood is near and dear to me. As you know, I try to give every 8 weeks, and as much as I can, because you never know, the life you may save is your own, and that's just not talking trash. I mean, that's the truth. So would love to do that sometime. But Jayden, man, the kid's phenomenal, and I'm glad that he's on our team. I really am.
And this is actually what Noah Brown had to say about Jayden.
Finally, what can you say about Jayden? Coming out, gutting it out, playing the way he played. What can you say about him?
Man, we're blessed to have 5 leading this team. The things he can do is special. Just even that last play, keeping his composure, fighting like hell to get the ball off, and threw a hell of a ball. I wouldn't want to play with any other quarterback. I'm glad to have him.
I mean, blessed is an understatement. Just the
Hmm.
things that young man can do with a ball in his hand, and you never feel that we're out of it. And it was, don't get me wrong, it was a frustrating game to watch. I mean, we were winning the entire game, but you and I have been through this before. We have been to so many games, right? Okay, all right, here's another field goal. It felt like the Giants game all over again. All right, they're still within striking distance. It's just like, stop playing with your food, right? Next thing you know, we get that touchdown. Touchdown gets called back. Just
Hmm.
stupid things here and there. I mean, the penalties. It was so weird, man, because Jayden's the one that missed practice, right? Jayden didn't actually practice till Friday, but he's the one that felt like he was on point because he's yelling at the sideline, "Give me the play." He's yelling at the sideline. Like at one point, OZ came in because they were short a wide receiver. He wasn't even the wide receiver supposed to come in. He just ran on the field. We didn't have 11 men on the field. At one point, we had 12 men on the field. We weren't getting plays in on time. Guys weren't lining up where they were supposed to. And those are the guys that were at practice the entire week. It felt like a preseason game, and the guys didn't know what they were doing. It didn't feel like a week 8 game where these guys have actually been rolling and it was the highest scoring offense in the NFL. It was so odd to me. And we just kept the Bears so close. I mean, we dominated them the entire game, but you know how it is. You miss that field goal, it always comes back to bite in the ass, or you miss an extra point, and next thing you know,
Hmm.
boom, they're right there.
So I know you listen to the games on your headset. Was that field goal blocked? Field goal attempt blocked, or was it just a bad kick?
It was a bad kick. He just chunked it. It's just, if anything past 50 plus, he takes a different angle and he just chunked the kick. It wasn't blocked.
Okay. Because it
So
was like a knuckleball coming right at me, and I said, "What the heck?" And I had just said, "Oh man, we got systematic," and it didn't happen. So the guy's like, "Systematic, huh?" And I was like, "Hey, buddy, you can turn around the other way, all right?"
not gonna lie, it was frustrating to see because I could not believe it. And I'm also thinking, why in the world are we going for another field goal? Like, it's just way too many. And we had too many penalties here. Penalties pushed the Commanders back into less advantageous situations. A false start from Trent Scott moved us from the Bears 7 back to the 12. Allegretti, illegal man downfield, erased a 24-yard screen to DeAndre Brown. That screen was such a thing of beauty when Kingsbury called it. It moved us back from the 4-yard line. I mean, there was a backbreaking penalty on Sam Cosmi, a 32-yard touchdown to OZ because he was too eligible downfield. And those are the things that I did not get, right? A screen pass is a screen pass. They tell the lineman to count to 1 Mississippi, maybe 2 Mississippi on a screen. Those of you that don't know what an eligible man downfield is, your offensive lineman cannot cross the line of scrimmage before the ball is thrown, or else he's illegally downfield. A screen pass is meant to be thrown in 2 seconds tops, not even 2 seconds. There are often times where you see the quarterback just throw the ball in the dirt because he took too long to actually get the screen set up. And there's already a lineman downfield. It would have been a penalty. So to have that happen twice and just negate our drives, and Trent Scott, I mean, he's a 3rd string tackle coming in there. I mean, Brandon Coleman got hurt, had a concussion last week. You got big Cornelius Lucas was in a walking boot after the game. Hopefully he'll be okay for this week against the Giants, and we'll talk about that on Wednesday. But
need him, yeah.
I mean, for them to hold up the way they did was great, but it was so weird to see how undisciplined they were. And it reminded me of, like you said earlier, reminded me of Tampa of week 1 and just, not playing our game for whatever reason.
Like you said, Jayden was the one who was out for the week, but it seemed like the whole squad was just hit or miss. And so let's face it, going forward, we're going to need everyone on the same page. And, it's something that coach is going to put in check. I mean, obviously they have a day off today, and they may even have a day off tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the day off.
Yeah.
And today guys come in and look at film and get treatment and this and that. So tomorrow they'll be out. They won't actually do anything until Wednesday. But remember last time they had a victory Monday or victory Tuesday, had the day off, guys were in getting treatment. So they were there. I mean, I have a feeling that this team isn't going to be one of those teams where they're just calling it in and they're just actually taking the time off. We talked about the Breakfast Club from Nikki Javala's article last week, where it was just the secondary. And by the way, BSJ, you're running gassers, man. You don't need a day off. I need you to work on those double moves that get put against you, because that pass interference, everyone was screaming. And I know it's the opposite end zone as you. It was pass interference. I mean, he grabbed the guy. I mean, he bit on a double move earlier in the game. They went back to him on a double move, and he just got to know where you are. You can't do that. It was just so frustrating. But
well, I got to tell you, maybe we need to get him some VR goggles, and if he can play, hey, Jayden, hook him up with a program. Let's get this guy some VR goggles and get him straight, man. Because let's face it, all of our weaknesses, teams are watching, and they are waiting to put us to the test. And I saw Forbes come out, and I said, "Oh no, okay, please don't let put DJ against Forbes." And he was. They didn't go to him. They actually ran the ball the opposite side of the field. But there was one play where Forbes tried to tackle a guy or whatever he tried to do, and shortly after that, they pulled him. So I don't think he played with the physicality that they really wanted. And I don't know if that's true or not, but he came out after that play. It was like an arm tackle or something like that. And you guys who are at home or who have seen the film later on, I'm sure you've seen that play.
Yeah.
To where
I went back and watched it, because it was like an Olay. I mean, it was almost like one of those bull guys that's sitting there holding their little red cape, and then the guy just runs underneath it. I mean, it was bad. And Forbes' tackling grade was a 23.1. Right. And there's a video going around of Forbes. One of our listeners sent it to me, of the 2 Bears DBs at the end of the game with the Hail Mary sitting on the ground, and Forbes comes running over to them. picks them up off the ground, and basically tries to give them a pep talk, like, keep your head up, right? Good game, this and that. It's like, all right, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I don't know if it was the jackass that was taunting our fans, Tyreek Stevenson. I'm not sure if that's who Forbes was going to, but Forbes went over there to talk to him. But yeah, like you, I was nervous every time I saw 13 out there because he's suspect, but we only have so many players, right? BSJ had a 58.3. I think he was our highest graded corner. And don't get me wrong, he had a couple of okay spots. There was that 4th and 1 that the Bears went for in their own territory. And BSJ stopped them and ended up getting a turnover on downs for us, right? I mean, that was a crucial spot at that point. And they gave him an 80.4 grade tackling. But coverage-wise, man, there were some spots that BSJ in coverage, just you never know which BSJ you're going to get from time to time.
This is true. I think that when he's riding high and that confidence is with him, he can't be stopped. But as you said, I think he realized that, oh, I got burnt this last play. Oh, I got to try to lock him up some kind of way. And by that time, it's too late, and they're looking forward. And I'm sure that the coaches have already said, hey, if we do this move, look at this because he's going to grab me. Because I've seen the other teams say, no, look, he's going to do this. And sure enough, once they make it known, they throw the flag and you advance or you get penalized. So, man, just a good win all around. I'm not going to harp on it. I just get better, guys. Get better in the film room, and like you said, get your treatments because next week we do it all over again. I mean, against the NFC East opponent.
The defense kept us in this game, right? We're being harsh on Forbes because he potentially gave up the game-winning, penalty that got them to the 1 where it seemed like we stopped them on 4th down. But the Bears punted on 6 of their first 7 drives. 6 of their first 7 drives. And then another one was the turnover on downs where BSJ stopped them on 4th and 1. So this defense kept us in this game. The offense did not do the defense any favors, right? I'm trying to see where we were on 3rd down conversions. I mean, it was not good at all. 3rd down efficiency, we were 5 for 15. That's freaking horrible, right? The defense was tired, and you had some people complaining that, well, when that actually mattered, the defense just kind of caved. I'm like, you guys don't get it. Those guys have been out there the entire time. I don't know how many 3 and outs we had, and the defense just gets tired after a while. And you only got so many guys that you can rotate in and out to the point of it's a disadvantage. And then the Bears, they were basically pretending they were us, going hurry up, not letting us get subs in. So then once they found a combo that worked for them, where we had guys out that we couldn't get at a certain point, we couldn't get Johnny Newton back in, and we couldn't get Deron Payne back in because the Bears wouldn't sub. If the offense doesn't sub, the defense doesn't have time to sub. So next thing you know, we got a bad matchup out there, but you had to give our guys a break for a second. So they were playing chess. Once they saw some of our guys go out, they didn't let them get a chance to come back in. So that's part of why the Bears are able to move the ball towards the end of the game. And it's just, thank God for them, but seriously, massive shout out to the offensive coordinator for the Bears. I don't remember the dude's name, but that lineman mini fridge dive on the 1 yard line, I don't know what the hell you were thinking, because it was 3rd down. You still had 2 tries to get in the end zone. But whatever, man. It's good for you. For hopefully you will eventually, do that again and it'll bite you in the ass again. But I could not believe that we got that ball and the referees didn't blow a whistle. So he's running right towards you with the ball in the end zone. And one of the refs actually signaled touchdown. It's like,
isn't that crazy?
Did we just score? Because what the hell's going on here? And no one knew if we should cheer or not.
I had so many Bears fans saying, no, we scored. It's a touchdown, dude, because our offense is still on the field. And I said, no, that's a fumble. And our guy ran it back. And then so we were going back and forth. And I said, finally, I'm not going to argue. Let's just listen. And sure enough, defense recovered a fumble. And so they were trying to do the old refrigerator Perry.
They call the guy the mini fridge.
Mini
so
fridge.
That's his name is the mini fridge.
Well,
And
Big Fridge never fumbled, but Mini Fridge did fumble. So and thank God that it wasn't Big William Perry, because we probably would not have been able to stop that. But Mini Fridge, hey, give it to him all day long. Give it to Butterfingers. We'll take it.
I can't believe they called that play right there. It made no sense. And granted, it wasn't a huge turning point because we ended up having to punt the ball anyway because we couldn't really move anywhere and it was bad field position.
Right.
And it almost backfired because it allowed them to go back down the field again and waste even
Hmm.
more time on the clock. But what did you think when all of a sudden the power went out in the stadium? Like, what was going through your head?
So I said, "Oh, they have been listening to what I've been talking about for a light show," because Cincinnati was the first stadium that I've ever seen do that. And Cincinnati, I was in awe. And when I saw that go, those lights go back and forth with just a like a party vibe, if you will, it got people turned up. And
It was awesome.
that's what we need. I think I recorded it too. I haven't posted it yet. I still got so much stuff I haven't posted. I've been too busy, but I'm gonna get around to it and posting it because it was just electrifying, man. And that's obviously we needed a spark. The fan base needed a spark, and because I forgot what happened, but we were kind of down, if you will.
Yeah.
And so
It felt dead in the stadium
yeah,
at that point. It
yeah.
was just weird because you could feel the momentum shifting back towards the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And their fans were starting to get louder. They've been quiet the entire game. And because we were wearing the black jerseys, they also had dark colors on. It was kind of hard to tell where there were big pockets of Bears fans or those bootleg Commanders black jerseys, like what was going on, right? And they got them on
Bootleg.
Temu or something. So it's just like, and then all of a sudden you could start to hear them. And then our
Mm-hmm.
fans got quiet. And next thing you know, they were playing. I'm almost positive they were playing Jeff Too Funny's like a portion of his song, his Raise Hail song. And those that don't know, we'll put it on the YouTube feed. They pretended that the power went out in the stadium. And it was freaking awesome. And the Nationals do something similar with their lights when they get a home run and it's a night game. But the
Mm-hmm.
entire place went dark and then the lights came back on. It's almost like they were trying to jumpstart the lights and the crowd got hyped, man. It felt like we were at a nightclub and the DJ just dropped a beat and everyone was just fist pumping and jumping in the air. It was so awesome. And whoever came up with that idea, they need a day off because, man, I was getting cold at that point and I started jumping up and down and yelling and cheering and screaming. It was an amazing feeling, man. It's fun to be at Northwest again. I would say FedEx, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I got you. Well, they always say winning cures all, and I I think this is like the first week that I really haven't seen any R words, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I actually got asked by Guy Lambert today on Fox 5 about that and the old
Really.
name and this and that. It's like, Guy, why would they go back? They're selling so much stuff. I've gotten a text message from my boy, the mechanics, like, can you help me get a Jayden Daniels jersey? I can't find one anywhere. Like, why would they do that to themselves? The millions of dollars it takes to rebrand, all of that
Hmm.
merchandise that is out there that they have to eat at that point. Why do it? Just so they can appease the loud minority that's out there? And then I got
Yeah.
people responding to me because I purposely don't put anything, Redskins in my tweets and this and that. It is what it is. If it has to do with old stuff, I'll just say Washington, just so I kind of still include everybody. Then I got people replying to me HTTR. I'm like, no, it's HTTC now. Right. And
Yeah.
I want to reply back with that to everybody, but I would end up muting more people and it's just too much of a pain. And like you, I got more stuff I got to do. But I swear people are singing the new song. And maybe just in my section, but at a certain point, I heard the new song being sung. And yes, people were singing the old one, but I
Hmm.
feel like the people singing the new one drowned out the old words to a degree in my section.
It's just a matter of time before all this stuff rolls over, and it'll be an afterthought, and you won't have to worry about it. And I'm up for it. Let's just continue to keep winning and putting good things on tape so that we can strive to be the best that we can be, man. Shout goes out to what's my man who won Fan of the Year? What's his name?
Dale McCord.
Dale.
Yeah, big country.
Shout goes out to Dale for winning Fan of the Year, man.
Yeah, happy for him. He's a good dude. I was happy to see them do that because I was wondering when it was going to happen because it's usually around this time, and
Hmm.
they have always brought the person on the field to announce it.
Right.
But those that
Hmm.
don't know, Dale is hearing impaired. So I guess it would have been a very different situation to have to bring him down there. But the team did a nice video and honored Dale, and I'm happy that he's going to get a chance to go to the Super Bowl and represent us. I'm hoping, people vote for him to be NFL Fan of the Year. So I do want to ask him, what the hell does it take to get Fan of the Year? I mean, you and I have had this discussion offline,
Yeah,
and
we don't know.
no clue. I texted with my HailBBQ brothers and sisters on Saturday after I was beat Saturday, man. Saturday kicked my ass after 10 hours of prepping and everything else and the car breaking down. It's like, we don't do what we do at the tailgate for accolades or this and that. We're raising money for charity. We're giving people a home to party at and have a good time.
Hmm.
But there's certain things in me that been doing this for over 2 decades, man. And my name has never been mentioned in a single breath for that award. And I know a part of that is because I am also harsh on the team. I
Yeah.
feel that I'm only, and I've said this before, I tell it like it is because I want things to improve. If you
Hmm.
kiss their ass so much, they don't know when they're doing wrong. And if you want things to get fixed, you got to call them out on it.
Right.
And bruh, you, in my opinion, should be one of our representatives one of these years because of all the hard work and everything you do on top of organizing these rallies and organizing these bus trips and getting fans out to these games. So when I do get a chance to have a beer with Dale, I would like to understand what they put down for his application and this
Yeah.
and that because I stopped filling it out. I don't fill that thing out anymore because that way I can't get upset now if I don't get it.
Hmm.
That's my thing.
I had a lot of people say, "Wait a minute, you should." And I said, "No, it's beyond me. Let it go. Just cheer for that young man. Don't worry about." I said, "I'm going to be all right. Even when I'm not all right, I'm all right. So cheer for that young man. Our time will come, if and when that comes. So don't worry about it." And
The
that's how
time
I
I care
treat that.
about, I hear you. The only
Yeah.
time I care about is the parade. Put us in the parade. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all I'm asking for. Right? It's let us have some part of that because
Hmm.
we have been here. We have not gone anywhere. And I got text messages from neighbors that I haven't spoken to in years. One's an Eagles fan. And so people I haven't worked with in 3 jobs saying the second that catch happened, I immediately thought of you. And I
Hmm.
know it's the same thing for you. If anyone thinks of this team and they're a friend of yours or family, whatever, they think of you. And I get the same thing. I still have not replied back to everybody that hit me back yesterday saying oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you must be so happy. Yeah, best be sure I'm happy. But the second anything good happens, they think of this team. And it'd be nice when that does happen because it's just like Daryl said, the Harris ownership group, they're bringing us a championship. It might not be this year. I hope it is, but it is a matter of time because there is nothing 5 cannot do with what Adam Peters has brought in here. All the guys that contributed to this game, Noah Brown. Noah Brown was not on this roster in training camp, wasn't on this roster in preseason. And they brought him in here to be a contributor. And remember everybody bitching and screaming about that guy from Pittsburgh that hadn't played in 6 years? And oh my gosh, I can't believe we cut him and we let him go, blah, blah. Guess why?
Well, hindsight, man. Come on, bro. Okay, in his defense, he made some good catches in preseason. I know it's preseason, but he did, and so he was a bigger target. But hey, I got you. I'm happy that we have the squad that we do, and but when you look back at it, man, that's funny, man. It really is because I was an advocate for him. I don't even remember his name, so that just goes to
Martavis
show you how
Bryant, I think, was
Martavis
who it
Bryant.
was. Yeah.
There you go. It was a flash in the pan, so it didn't work out. But something tells me that Quinn still has something up his sleeve. Don't know what, but something up his sleeve, and just be prepared to when it does happen. It'll be another great addition to
It's
the
on
squad.
Peters.
Peters and
Yeah.
Quinn, because Quinn has say, I'm sure, some type
Yeah.
of say.
He tells
So
him
I'm
who
sure,
he needs or what he wants.
right.
Peters just
And
has
then
to make it work.
they scout the best potential player for it. So yeah, so I'm sure they got something up their sleeve. But until then, hey man, I'm going to continue to rah shish goomba, baby, and do it.
And I apologize to Adam Peters. It's like, I mean, we were all not, I won't say we, never want to say we. I was like, we're rebuilding, not recalibrating. No, this is a recalibration. And our last show was called Contenders, Not Pretenders because of what you said. It's like, these guys, they're not recalibrating. They're calibrated, right? I mean, what he has been able to do with this roster, and I don't want to, just with the players that we had, just the lack of talent, the lack of quality, what he has been able to just build with Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner and Jeremy Chin and drafted Mike Sanders still, like all these guys are impacting this game. And they are a huge part of our team. Brandon McManus getting kicked off or getting terminated from the team because of all that sexual harassment stuff, and finding Cyber just sitting there waiting for someone to pick his ass up, right? Because he was kicking balls at a tree with his family watching. I mean, it is awesome to see. And these are stories that it almost feels like a movie script to a degree, right? And I couldn't help but think of the Replacements when we were up in Baltimore, because those of you that don't know, that's where the movie was filmed, in their stadium. And it just kind of feels like that script. And I don't know if it's going to be a storybook ending, but the ending to this game was a damn storybook, man. And I mean, before we get into it, I want to play a video that you actually made that has been seen, I don't know, maybe 1,000,000 times since we've been talking. Y'all,
well, I
check
know
this
that.
out.
I know.
Start. Look at them. They're going crazy. They're going crazy. Look at them. The same way. I'd be the exact same way. What's going on here? 12 seconds on the clock. You got to make something happen. All right. 35 seconds. On 35-yard line. They're lining up for the pass play. 2 seconds left. Here we are. Pass to Terry McLaurin is good. He's waving goodbye. He's waving goodbye, but at the same time. He's running around. Just throw it up. Anybody, throw it up. It's coming up. It's coming up.
I'm jealous of your end zone view at that point, because I like being on the sideline. But to have that come right towards you, and what cracked me up watching your video is you can clearly see Tyreek Stevenson, that donkey, in the middle of the play, while the play is going on,
Yeah.
while it's happening, just not
Yeah.
even looking, just waving goodbye to the fans, talking trash. And then it turns out he was yelling at Shane Peacher, who I've known for quite some time now. I'm sure you've seen him back and forth. Shane says he was cursing with Tyreek back and forth and just yelling and screaming at him. And then to have Tyreek be the guy that actually tipped it to Noah Brown for the touchdown. I mean, what was going through your head? Not even that play, but before that play happened. We got 2 seconds left, and all you know is it's going to be a Hail Mary. What were you thinking?
Honestly, Ted, I wasn't thinking anything, man. I just was caught up in the moment. Let's just be honest. I like you said, I knew it was going to be a Hail Mary. And honestly, I take that back. I thought that the first play that we threw the ball to Terry, that they didn't cover it. And I said, oh, maybe we're trying to get into field goal range. That's what I thought, to tie the game up. And then when no one covered him and he got out of bounds, and I was like, well, we don't have enough time for a field goal. And plus now, that's too far. There's no way he can kick a field goal from that. I said, oh, okay, well, Hail Mary. Let's just see what happens. Now, if you also look at that video, and I didn't see it when I was actually filming it, it took me to go back and watch the video. They mollywopped Terry, and they held the hell out of him. And he starts fighting with old DeAndre Carter. Speaking of which, DeAndre Carter's dad stopped me and says, Rally Captain, do you remember me? And I said, yeah, Mr. Carter, I remember you, because he came to the tailgate that we had in Detroit.
Yeah.
And we're talking and everything, shooting the fat. And so big shout out to him, because he recognized me, and I actually recognized him as well. But Carter is number one. He pushes Terry down, and their linebacker 49 or something like that. They're kind of going at it a little bit. If you look at that video,
I'll have to go back and watch it. But yeah, it's just...
yeah, because Terry's running down like a route. This actually could have been called pass interference, because he's like running a route, and Carter just knocks him down. Terry jumps back up and it's kind of like, hey, somebody just pushed me down. And he looks to see who pushed him down, and they kind of start going at it a little bit. So it was just something to see, man. And everyone who saw the video said, wait a minute, do you see that fight going on with those guys? So you don't see it from that angle. It's strictly from my vantage point, from my video. And so imagine that no ref wants to call pass interference on a Hail Mary, but they could have on this particular play, because he clearly knocked Terry down.
I'll see if I can find it on the All 22 film. And actually
you'll
going
see it
back
there.
and looking at. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to see and go through, but I feel like no ref would have called it,
right,
unless we were the ones doing it, right? Like that whole BSJ play. And yes, BSJ did get him, but to call that right then, knowing the effect that that's going to have on the game, it was just so frustrating. We've seen it called on us so many times. I mean, there's that one play against the Giants, what was it, last year, where the guy was literally hugging Terry at that point. And I mean, it felt like they were doing a tandem jump out of an airplane. I mean, that's just how close the guy was to Terry. And we just don't get those for whatever reason. But I mean, with Jayden, you don't feel like you're out of it. And this is actually what DQ had to say.
Dan, I know in previous press conferences you've mentioned with Jayden out there, you'll still have a chance. So in that last play, were you thinking there was still a chance, or were you just kind of like, whatever happens, happens?
I thought we'd had a chance to get, if we could get up the field some. And so that's what I was trying to get to. Could we get into field goal range if we could get a big chunk and get a timeout and then get a must out of bounds? So that's what I was hoping that we would accomplish into that spot. And then when it turns into Hail Mary time, literally what it's named after.
So I, at that point, was getting mad at people that were leaving. Like, why would you wait until there's 2 seconds left in the game to walk out? If you're there at that point, why aren't you just staying? Like, what are you going to do? What's the point? Right?
Yeah, traffic is not going to let up 2 seconds or a minute is not going to let that traffic make a difference.
It's not going to matter. I mean, you toughed it out this entire time. Why wouldn't you just wait for the clock to strike zero?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy that left with 2 minutes, 5 minutes left in the game, shame on you, but whatever. It's your money. You do what you want to with it. To me, you're just pissing it away. Give your fan, you take it to a fan that actually wants to be there the entire time. But I was getting annoyed with all these people that were walking out leaving. And Mrs. Tailgate kind of calmed me down. I was like, no, let's just watch a game. Just watch a game. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the radio feed. The radio feed is on about a 3-second delay. Jayden, he's buying time. 13 seconds that play took, right? Buying time. And it's the complete opposite side of me. So it's hard for me to see at that point who's open and what's going on. But I'm watching these linemen, like, please God, don't have an illegal man downfield again. Like, know where that line of scrimmage is, guys. And Jayden, he's just holding on to the ball. It's like, all right, you going to throw this thing? Because I'm hoping for a pass interference. Pass interference is my best case scenario, right? Because the game can't end on a defensive penalty. So we get a pass interference. There's no time left on the clock. And then Seibert comes out for a field goal and we go to overtime. And next thing I know, he just chucks that thing up thinking, all right, keep it in bound. Don't throw it out the back of the end zone. Looked at the trajectory. Oh, damn, it's coming up short. And then, boom, it just went right to Noah. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And my wife, and we had some family friends there jumping up and down cheering. I was in shock. I did not celebrate for a good maybe 5 to 10 seconds because I'm waiting for Bram and London to call the touchdown, waiting to make sure there's no flags anywhere on that field. And then I allowed myself to just be like the rest of us, or rest of you guys, just jumping up and down, enjoying the moment, because I didn't want to believe it. I didn't think it was possible. Right. And I mean, it is called a Hail Mary. Yeah. So I have sat and prayed that someone will miss a kick in the past from my seats and just let the fan reaction dictate if I knew what happened or not. But I was in disbelief, man. And it was just such an awesome thing to see. I think the Commanders tweeted out that they have not had in the franchise history a touchdown in the last second of the game since the merger in 1970. Jayden said he had one maybe in high school that he threw, but just going into halftime, nothing like this. And Dan Quinn said he'd never been a part of a Hail Mary touchdown like that. A Hail Mary walk-off touchdown, right? And I cannot think of a moment inside that stadium where I have been to all but one game inside that stadium that has ever felt like that I will never forget.
No, I'll never forget it as well. And this goes to those fans that have hung around and been through the muck and the mire that the old regime put us through. We deserve this. So my hat goes out to all those fans that were there who were able to witness it live, because this is our win. It's not their win. It's our collectively win.
I didn't want to leave. And, I don't go in the concourse immediately after the game. I want to let some of the stuff die down and this and that. I'm standing there, and so many of those fans that you are talking about without actually mentioning their names walked over from their sections, and we all took pictures together, because each of us knows who we are, who has been here through all of it and has never walked out. When the Chiefs were beating us and they hadn't won a game in almost a year and a half, right? When the Bears kicked our ass last year and that stadium was empty because it was prime time and we lost, 40 to whatever that game. And, we talked about the nightmares that I had for weeks with DJ Moore just running through my dreams. Those fans that toughed it out through then are the same ones that toughed it out through this one. And it finally paid off. And I'm just so happy that all of us were able to collectively witness history, because that's what that was. And that's something that will galvanize a team, galvanize a fan base, galvanize this city. And I think that's what we just witnessed. Is we joke about, not joke, but that Bengals game, was it coming out for the Commanders? I think this was, man. I think this was a statement that we are the Commanders, and this team is a force to be reckoned with that you can never count out.
Yeah, as I said last week, contenders not pretenders. And the writing is on the wall. And we are setting ourselves up for a huge, huge NFC East showdown next week. All eyes are going to be on us. Can't wait.
How much is a ticket to stow away in the bathroom on the bus? Maybe I can talk to you about that, man.
Good luck if you can find that. I think that's he's taking as well. So I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. It might be a little too late. We can put you in the cargo hold. I mean, just bring a blanket and bring a blanket and a little, pillow or something just to cushion the ride. But hey, man, yeah.
I'll have to, maybe I can teach pickleball classes to some people or something. If you guys want pickleball lessons, let me know so I can start paying for Commanders tickets for these away games.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. This is awesome. This is an awesome feeling. It's a marvelous Monday, a miracle Monday, however you want to look at it.
It ain't getting old, and I am happy to restock my humidor from all these Victory cigars. And one of these days, you and I have to go get a Victory steak together, man. One of these
Heck yeah, bro. I'm down for it too, man. So let me know when we can make it happen. Even if it's on a Wednesday or something, the fact is we're going to get it done. Well, hey, man, I hear the music playing in the background. It lets me know that we're bringing another episode to a close. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Remember, you rep it hard. You don't rep it at all. Rally Captain Tailgate Ted. We're out.